Hello everyone and welcome to AI Football Prediction Lab, Europe's most trusted prediction channel. My name is Tyler and I hope you're all doing well. Throughout the week, our expert team has been working hard, analysing upcoming matches in the English Premier League, French Ligue 1, the FA Cup and the Spanish Copa del Rey in great detail. In this video, they'll be sharing their predictions and insights for these exciting Saturday fixtures. As always, don't miss today's top prediction at the end of the video. If you enjoy the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your football-loving friends. So without wasting any time, let's dive into the analysis.
Hello everyone, Luca here. On Saturday, April 26th, 5 matches will be played in the English Premier League. I've analysed all of them throughout the week, and in this episode, I'm going to share my predictions with you. Let's begin with the first match of the day, Chelsea versus Everton. From Chelsea's point of view, this is a must-win. They're currently 6th in the league, just 2 points behind Newcastle, who sit in 5th place, the final Champions League qualification spot. Newcastle are expected to win their match this week against Ipswich Town, so if Chelsea drop points here, the gap could widen significantly. A draw would leave them 4 points behind, and a loss would increase that to 5, which could be critical with only a few matches remaining. So Chelsea will definitely go all in for the win. However, Everton are one of the best defensive teams in the league. They've consistently made life difficult for top sides, and I expect them to do the same here. I don't expect many goals in this game. However, my main prediction is Everton +2 handicap. Even if they lose, I believe it won't be by more than a single goal. Our next match kicks off at 3 p.m. as Brighton host West Ham. Brighton had a solid season overall, but they've been struggling lately, collecting just 2 points from their last 5 matches. Thanks to their strong performances earlier in the season, they're safe from relegation. However, injuries in defence and the absence of Rutter and João Pedro have clearly affected their form. Even though they don't have much to fight for now, they still have a chance to finish inside the top 8. And under certain scenarios, that could mean qualification for the UEFA Conference League. So they'll definitely want to push for a strong finish. As for West Ham, their season has also been disappointing. Despite having a talented squad, they lacked consistency throughout the campaign. In these final weeks with no real pressure, I expect them to play a more relaxed style. And some players will be eager to impress in a stress-free environment. That's why I believe both sides can contribute to the scoreline here. Over 1.5 goals looks like a very reasonable prediction for this match. Another match kicking off at 3 p.m. sees Newcastle host Ipswich Town at St James's Park. Ipswich have already been relegated and will play in the Championship next season. They're now only playing for pride, but for Newcastle this match is very important. After last week's loss to Aston Villa, their hopes for a top 4 finish took a hit. They are currently 5th and Chelsea and Villa are right behind them. Dropping points here could be costly. Newcastle must win this one, and they have the quality to do it. I don't think they'll make a mistake at home. If you're looking for a surprise, Ipswich might score, so both teams to score is also a good option. But my main prediction is clear. Newcastle win. This game could be a big step towards the Champions League, and if they finish strong, they could even make it into the top 3. They've got everything to play for, and I don't see them messing this one up. Let's continue with Southampton versus Fulham match analysis and prediction. Relegated from the Premier League, Southampton will host Fulham at St Mary's. Now playing without pressure, Southampton have adopted a more attacking style in recent weeks. They even managed to score away against West Ham last week, so it wouldn't be a surprise if they found the net again in front of their home fans. Fulham, on the other hand, have been one of the more dynamic and unpredictable sides in the league, capable of scoring but also prone to conceding. In their last game, they led Chelsea 1-0 for most of the match, but ended up conceding twice in the closing minutes and lost 2-1. Although many think Fulham don't have much left to play for, there's actually a potential European spot on the line. Normally, only the top 7 teams from the Premier League qualify for European competitions. However, due to English teams' strong performance in Europe this season, and the possibility of winning European Cups, even the 8th or 9th place teams could qualify for the Conference League. So Fulham still have a real reason to push for a top 8 finish. With both teams playing with freedom and attacking intent, and Fulham still having European hopes alive, we can expect an open game. That's why my prediction is over 1.5 goals. In the final match of Saturday's fixtures, Wolves host Leicester City at Molineux. Wolves are one of the most informed teams in the league right now, with 5 wins in their last 6 matches. They've made a strong statement late in the season. Their manager Pereira continues to lead the team with full focus, aiming to prove himself. After a disappointing first half of the season, the players are now determined to finish strong, delivering both good results and entertaining football. With safety from relegation already secured, Wolves are playing with confidence and momentum. Looking at Leicester, they've already been relegated and no longer have anything to fight for. They're playing with freedom, but their defense remains shaky. They've conceded in nearly every match. That said, they showed some unexpected resilience last week against Liverpool, holding them for most of the match before narrowly losing 1-0. However, this Wolves side is in great form and highly motivated. It will be tough for Leicester to hold them off. For that reason, my prediction is that Wolves will win at least one half of the match.
Hello everyone, my name is Harrison. In this section, we'll discuss the matches of the day in France's Ligue 1. There are 3 matches scheduled for today, and I've analyzed them for you throughout the week. I'm ready to share my predictions, so let's get started. Let's start with the first match of the day in France, which kicks off at 4 p.m. between Strasbourg and Etienne. Starting with Strasbourg, this team has been on fire lately. They've only lost once in their last 15 matches and have truly dominated the last few months of the league. It's safe to say they've become one of the toughest sides to beat. In fact, they are currently on a 10-match unbeaten streak. Let's also not forget, they've only suffered a single loss at home all season. On the other side, we have Etienne, who are fighting for survival. They're sitting just above the relegation zone and desperately need to finish 16th to secure at least a playout spot. Last week, they gave themselves a big boost by defeating Lyon 2-1, a massive result for them in such a critical time. Now this is a tough match to predict. Strasbourg are clearly the in-form side and look like the natural favorites here. But Etienne have their backs against the wall and will fight with everything they've got. My prediction? Etienne +3 handicap. Even if Strasbourg take the lead, I believe Etienne will push hard. Doing so, they might concede a second goal, but with a +3 handicap, this feels like the safest call. Now, let's move on to the second match of the day in France, which kicks off at 6 p.m. Le Havre versus Monaco. Le Havre are currently in a critical situation. They sit 16th in the table, right in the playout spot, and are only behind Etienne on goal difference. Their home form has been the weakest in the league, but with survival on the line, they'll approach this match with maximum effort and determination to secure a result. As for Monaco, they're fighting to finish in the top 3 and qualify for the Champions League. They're currently in 3rd place, but only 1 point ahead of 4th-placed Lille, so every game is absolutely vital. They clearly have the quality to win, but even if things don't go their way, they'll want to leave with at least a point. This won't be an easy match for Monaco. Le Havre will show resilience and leave everything on the pitch to avoid defeat. Monaco might come out on top, but I expect it to be a close contest. My prediction is Le Havre +3 handicap, a safe and solid choice given the high stakes for both sides. And finally, the last match of the day. Lyon will host Rennes. Starting with Rennes, they're a mid-table team with nothing major at stake at this point in the season. They're not at risk of relegation, and they no longer have a mathematical chance of qualifying for European competitions. What makes Rennes particularly interesting is that they haven't drawn a single match since October 2024. It's either a win or a loss with them. Very unpredictable. On the other hand, Lyon are a strong side with serious ambitions. They want to finish in the top 3, and they're only 3 points behind Monaco, who currently sit 3rd. However, they've had a tough couple of weeks, first being knocked out of Europe by Manchester United, and then suffering a surprising defeat away from home in the league. This match is their chance to bounce back. I believe Lyon will take this game very seriously and come out with intensity. My prediction? Lyon double chance. It's the safest option, but for those looking for a surprise pick, I think Lyon will win.
Hello everyone, my name is Bill. In this section, we'll cover two of the most important cup clashes in European football, the Copa del Rey final between Barcelona and Real Madrid, and the FA Cup semi-final between Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. I've analyzed both matches in detail, and I'm ready to share my predictions with you. Let's get started with the Copa del Rey final. Saturday brings us the biggest match of the day and one of the greatest rivalries in world football, as Barcelona take on Real Madrid in the Copa del Rey Final. Kickoff is set for 9 p.m., and the football world will be watching with bated breath. This is more than just a cup final. This is a massive showdown. Barcelona are having a fantastic season. They've reached the Champions League semi-finals. They're 4 points ahead of Real Madrid in La Liga, and now they're playing for the Copa del Rey trophy. Under coach Hansi Flick, with a young and hungry squad, they've been absolutely flying. On the other hand, Real Madrid have had a more turbulent season. They've been inconsistent and recently crashed out of the Champions League. While they still have a slim chance in La Liga, closing the 4-point gap will be tough. That's why this final could be their best shot at finishing the season with a trophy. Let's not forget, Mbappé is expected to return for this match, which is a huge boost for Madrid. Barcelona, however, will likely be without Lewandowski due to injury. Based on form, Barcelona looks slightly stronger right now. But this is Real Madrid we're talking about, a club made for big games. My prediction is I think both teams will score in regular time, so my pick is both teams to score yes. In another major cup clash of the day, Crystal Palace take on Aston Villa in the FA Cup semi-final. The match will be held at Wembley Stadium, and as always in the semis, it's a one-legged knockout match, no second chances. Let's talk about Crystal Palace first. They've been one of the most improved sides in the Premier League over the last 3 months. Their recent form is no fluke. They even managed to stop Arsenal at Wembley. They play attacking, brave football, and their place in this semi-final is well-deserved. As for Aston Villa, they didn't start the league campaign strongly. But under Unai Emery, they've developed into a top team. They reached the Champions League quarterfinals, and most recently, they beat one of the most informed teams in Europe, Paris Saint-Germain, with a thrilling 3-2 victory at home. This game could go either way. We might see goals from both sides, or it could become a more tactical and defensive battle. But when I look at squad depth, coaching experience, and overall quality, I believe Aston Villa have the edge here. It might even go to extra time or penalties, but my prediction is Aston Villa to qualify for the final. We've covered 2 massive cup clashes today, and I hope my insights help you enjoy the games even more. Let me know your predictions in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you enjoyed the video.
Hello again, everybody, and thank you for watching the video all the way to the end. It's now time for the top prediction of the day. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with your football-loving friends. And now, here it is, today's top prediction.